Bitcoin is a recent innovation in the world of finance, utilizing the advancements of digital technology to tackle the long-standing issue of transferring monetary value over time and distance. To comprehend Bitcoin, a basic understanding of money is necessary, and to fully understand money, one must study its function and history. The most straightforward method for individuals to transfer value is through the exchange of valuable goods. This direct exchange method is known as bartering, but it is only feasible in limited communities with minimal goods and services. In a hypothetical economy of just a few isolated individuals, there is limited opportunity for specialization in trade, and individuals would need to independently produce and directly exchange the bare necessities for survival. Bartering has been a part of human society throughout history and still exists today, but it is highly impractical and only used in exceptional situations, typically among people who are well acquainted with each other. In a larger and more developed economy, individuals can specialize in producing a wider range of goods and trade with a much larger group of people, including strangers, who they have no personal relationship with. Keeping track of goods, services, and favors through bartering is not feasible in such complex economies. As the market grows, there are more chances for specialization and exchange, but the issue of finding a mutual exchange, also known as coincidence of wants, becomes more challenging. This occurs when what you want to acquire is produced by someone who doesn't want what you have to offer in exchange. The issue goes beyond differing needs for different goods and encompasses three distinct aspects. First, there is the issue of unequal value. What you desire may not be equal in worth to what you have, and dividing either item into smaller units may not be feasible. Consider the scenario of trying to trade shoes for a house. It's not possible to purchase the house in increments of equal value to a pair of shoes, and the homeowner does not want to acquire all the shoes whose value is equal to that of the house. Second, there is the issue of mismatched time frames. The item you want to sell may have a limited shelf life, but what you want to purchase is more long-lasting and valuable, making it difficult to gather enough of your perishable item to trade for the durable item at a single moment. Gathering a sufficient amount of apples to trade for a car all at once is challenging because the apples will deteriorate before the transaction can be finished. Third, there is the problem of geographical mismatch. You may want to sell a house in one location in order to purchase a house in another place, but most houses cannot be easily moved from one location to another. These three issues render direct exchange highly impractical, leading individuals to resort to multiple rounds of exchange in order to meet their economic requirements. The solution is through indirect exchange, where you look for a commodity that another person desires and find someone who is willing to exchange it for the item you want to sell. As the economy expands, the use of multiple goods as a means of exchange becomes unrealistic, leading people to search for a more efficient medium of exchange, which simplifies the exchange process and eliminates the need for multiple transactions to be made to complete one trade. A more efficient solution is likely to arise as the economy grows, where one or only a few specific goods serve as a medium of exchange for everyone to trade their goods with, rather than constantly searching for a different good that their counterparty wants and conducting several exchanges for each exchange they want to make. Those who adopt this solution will become more productive than those who do not. A commodity that becomes widely accepted as a means of exchanging goods and services is referred to as money. The defining characteristic of money is its use as a tool for exchanging goods, rather than being consumed or used in the production of other goods. Money serves as the primary means of exchanging value between individuals. The distinction between investment and money lies in three ways. First, investment produces income while money does not. Second, investment carries the risk of failure while money is considered low risk. And third, investments are less easily convertible to other goods, causing high transaction costs, whereas money is highly liquid. This is why money will always be in demand and why investment cannot fully replace it. People generally keep some of their wealth in the form of money because it is the most easily accessible and carries less risk than other investments. This is a common practice in many cultures because it provides a sense of security in uncertain times and allows individuals to quickly access funds if they need them. The trade-off for the ease of holding money is giving up the potential consumption that could have been obtained with it, and the potential returns that could have been earned from investing it. Karl Menger, the founder of the Austrian School of Economics and originator of marginal analysis in economics, studied human choices in market scenarios and developed an understanding of the defining characteristic that leads to a good being voluntarily accepted as money in the market. He determined that the key property was salability, which refers to the ease of selling the good without experiencing a significant decrease in its price whenever the holder desires. It's not set in stone what can or can't be used as money. Any item that is bought for the purpose of exchanging it for something else, rather than for its own use, becomes money in practice. People's opinions and choices of what money is will vary. Throughout history, many different items have served as money, including gold and silver, copper, seashells, large stones, salt, cattle, government paper, precious stones, and even alcohol and cigarettes under certain circumstances. People's choices are subjective and there is no universally correct choice for what should be used as money. The choice of what serves as money has implications. The suitability of a good as money can be evaluated based on its ability to resolve the three issues related to the mismatch of wants discussed earlier, including its divisibility, transferability, and durability. A good that is easily divided or combined into different quantities enables the holder to sell it in any amount they want. The ability to easily transport a good and its ability to be divided into smaller or larger units are important considerations for its use as a medium of exchange. This is why goods that are easily transportable and have a high value per unit weight are often chosen to serve as money. These two factors help to ensure that the good is saleable across space and scales, respectively. The third aspect, salability across time, is the most important factor. This refers to a good's ability to maintain its value over time, allowing the holder to store wealth in it, which is the second function of money. To be saleable across time, a good must be resistant to decay, corrosion, and other forms of degradation. Someone who believed they could preserve their wealth for the long term using items such as fish, apples, or oranges quickly realized their mistake and likely had little concern about wealth preservation. Despite physical durability over time being a crucial requirement, it is not enough for a good to maintain its value across time, as its value can still decrease even if its physical state remains unchanged. For a good to be able to hold its value over time, it is important that the supply of the good does not significantly increase during the period when the holder possesses it. A recurring feature in the history of money is the implementation of a control system to limit the creation of additional units of the money good, so as to preserve the value of current units. The ease at which new units of a form of money can be produced determines its hardness, with hard money being more difficult to increase in supply and easy money being susceptible to significant increases in supply. One can grasp the concept of money's hardness by comprehending two separate aspects regarding the supply of a good. The first is the stock, which refers to the current supply, including everything produced in the past minus what has been consumed or destroyed. The second is the flow, which refers to the additional production that will occur in the next time period. The relationship between the existing supply and the additional production of a good is a good indicator of its suitability as a form of money and how well it can perform the role of money. A good with a low stock-to-flow ratio means that its existing supply can be significantly increased if it becomes popular as a store of value. The greater the stock-to-flow ratio, the more likely a good will retain its value over time and therefore be more suitable for use as a store of value. A good with a low stock-to-flow ratio may not maintain its value if it is used as a store of value, since its existing supply can be greatly increased if people begin to use it as such. If individuals select a form of money with a high stock-to-flow ratio, known as hard money, as a store of value, the increased demand for it would lead to a rise in its price, encouraging its production. However, as the new production is not significantly high compared to the existing supply, even a substantial increase in its production is unlikely to cause a major decline in its price. If individuals opt to store their wealth in a form of money with a low stock-to-flow ratio, considered to be an easy money, it would be simple for the makers of this currency to generate large amounts of it, which would lead to a drop in its value. This decrease in value would devalue the currency, take away the wealth of those who saved it, and negatively impact its ability to hold value over time, or its salability across time. I refer to it as the easy money trap. If something is being used as a store of wealth, its supply will increase, and if its supply can be easily increased, it will ruin the wealth of those who relied on it as a store of value. The outcome of this situation is that anything used as a store of value must have a system in place that limits the creation of new units to preserve its value over time. In conclusion, for a good to function as money, it must be difficult to produce in large quantities. Otherwise, the ease of production would result in an influx of supply that would devalue the good, negatively impacting the wealth of those who stored their value in it, and reducing the incentive for others to use it as a store of value. If there was a sudden increase in the supply of a monetary item due to natural, technological, or political factors, it would lose its status as money and be replaced by other forms of exchange with a more stable stock-to-flow ratio. Seashells served as a medium of exchange when they were rare. Cigarettes are used as a form of currency in prison due to their scarcity, and the slower the growth rate of supply for national currencies, the more likely they will be kept by people and retain their value in the long run. As technology advanced and made obtaining seashells simple, societies moved to using metal or paper money. Similarly, when a government increases its currency supply, its citizens tend to hold foreign currencies, gold, or other more dependable forms of money. The 20th century saw a distressingly large number of such examples, especially in developing nations. The forms of money that have lasted the longest are those with established methods for controlling supply growth, also known as hard money. Competition among monetary forms always exists, and the impact of technology on the stock-to-flow ratio of the competitors predicts the outcome. Although people have the option to choose any item as their form of exchange, in the long run, those who use hard money will benefit the most as their medium of exchange will retain its value due to its limited supply growth. Those who opt for easy money are likely to see a decline in value as its rapid supply growth lowers its market price. Whether through rational planning or the bitter experiences of reality, most money and wealth will end up in the hands of those who choose the hardest and most marketable forms of money. However, the hardness and marketability of goods is not constant and changes over time. As technological advancements vary among societies and periods, so does the hardness of different forms of money and their marketability. The determination of the best form of money has always been based on the technological realities of a society and the marketability of different goods. Therefore, Austrian economists are not rigid or objective in their definition of sound money. They view it as a form of currency freely chosen by individuals through market transactions, rather than one imposed by a coercive authority. The value of sound money is determined through market interaction and not government edict. Competition in a free market monetary system is highly effective in producing sound money, as it only allows those who make the correct choice to keep significant wealth over time. There is no requirement for the government to force the use of hard money on society, as it will have already been discovered before the creation of government. If the government were to intervene, it would only obstruct the monetary competition process. If you liked this video, please subscribe my channel.
PhD Cryptocurrency.